Hey, what's up, everybody? Old Man PC Play here, and we're just gonna be playing Tera. I already made my character already, and all his features. I made a priest, high elf, blue hair, blue eye, tall, skinny priest, healer. Continue. He's at level 6, so I skipped 1, 2, 3, 4, went to 5, cause 6 is, you always see it in all them videos. Everybody does like a little walkthrough of what you do in Tera or what you do in a certain MMO from level 1. I don't care about level 1. So I skipped to level 6 and we're gonna continue all the way up to level 9. So keep up on that. Anyways, Tera Align. What comes to mind when you hear the word Tera? The word Tera, I think about combining forms, either measurements or fractions, math, science. But this has its science and its math formed together to make the word Tera a playable game. And in Tera is like a typical MMORPG, which features quests, crafting, player versus players in all action form combats and real time situations. We have a third person camera, so you can fight now and you see yourself. Not the first person camera. You can do that option if you like, so that's always a twist. Players can also target with like crosshairs they have with this little cursor in the middle. I know that if you are like a priest, any long range character or range character, you would have that big crosshair when you reach in range to attack your targets, like what you see. And if you are like a close range or a CQC, a CQC person, you would mostly have the directional button on. So if you're CQC, you don't have it. It's a game published by NCSoft, Game Forge in Berlin. That's looking forward to it. It's N Masses and Entertainment. Its developers are Blue Hole Studios. So that's like a new developer right there. At least I haven't heard of them. So Tera, right, is one of those games that you can play with your mouse and keyboard, and you can also play with your control pad. It can be used either or to control the player or control the player's movements and stuff like that. So I've been, have you seen the little corner, the little gamepad on the right hand side? That's what I'm playing as. I'm using a PS3 controller, and I put it in the game, just USB, and it started to work. So I just started to use that little mindset. So in Tera, there's a plot. Yeah, I'm not gonna bore you with the plot, but just know that we're good guys. We're the new beginners that start off in Island of Dawn, and we're supposed to kill all this new creatures that are emerging out of nowhere and rid the world from darkness. Our goal is just to do the typical thing: kill the bad guys, win, triumph, and live in glory. So it comes back here where we have to do the same thing in Tera, but this time we have different races to make us wonder who we want to be or who we want to play as, in that sense. So we get the animal creatures of it all. So we got to start off with the Popori, and the Barakas is next, and then the Elans. But all three of those are gender lock, so that kind of sucks. You can't be, for Elan, you always gonna be a chick. For Popori, you gonna always be a dude, in furry outfits. And the Baraka, you're always gonna be whatever a Baraka is. I would just say a guy. You get a Castanic, and it's like a demon-like race. You get an almond, which is a humanoid, and you get a high elf, which is elegant to a human. We're above God, so and you get a human. Who wants to run around with a human all day? But yeah, you get a human. Um, None of these classes race locked or class locked or anything like that. If you want to be a human and you want to be a priest, you can. If you want to be a human and you want to be a sorcerer or a mystic or a lancer or a berserker, and the list goes on, you can. But to jump into the classes now, so we have archer, berserker, lancer, mystic, priest, slayer, sorcerer. 7 classes. Am I missing one? Oh, warrior. Yeah, 8 classes. 8 classes. So we can start off from the bottom. Warrior is like a melee damage type class. They go with warrior, slayer, berserker, and lancer. Those 4 are warrior classes or DPSs. They damage per second. For the warrior though, they're unique because they use dual wielding swords and they wear leather armor. Warriors are the other tanks in the game. By relying on like quick time dodging and incoming attacks, we can like do parries and dodge out of the way, flips, curls, all that stuff. Warriors though, if you're just starting out, I wouldn't recommend jump into a warrior class because they're the hardest classes to play with. So it's required for people for the veteran classes, you would choose a warrior. I would say wait until you get better in Tera, then jump to a warrior. Since their role and their skills have like so many complex moves just to get certain things done. As I said, they're the hardest classes to play with in Tera, and the players become familiar with the attack patterns to dodge effectively, while the Lancers can just, hold back and block whenever they feel like they're threatened. It depends on the light armor that the warrior wears though. The warrior can gain high endurance rating rather than the lancers. And let's just stop right there for the warriors. Warriors are popular classes due to their high speed nature. Just end it right there. Going from the bottom up. So we already deal with warriors. Now we're going to sorcerers, because that's next on my list. Sorcerers, wizards, mages, witches. Everything that you think about Harry Potter, a sorcerer does the same. They carry these disc-like weapons that float like a like a spirit ball that like a spirit ball in your hand, and it just goes around in a circle. Or it's a disc-like weapon, and they're range magic damage classes using like arcanic powers and all that stuff. And they wear cloth armor. So let's just say they wear squishy armor. Sorcerers are capable of great bursts of damage. So they're good for doing damage over time, but you gotta watch out for them. If you don't have a Argo holder in your team, like a Lancer or a Warrior, then most chances are they're gonna die or they're gonna take the hits. The Sorcerer will take the hits. So, but they're very good. Sorcerers hit harder than almost any class here that I'm gonna be speaking about. But yeah. And next we have Slayers. Let's talk about Slayers. Slayers are a melee damage class. that uses a two-handed sword, like a real two-handed sword, and they wear leather armor as well. This class is naturally excelled in soloing because of their inherent crowd control capabilities. It possesses them to do a knockdown, or they have a high chance of getting knocked down as well. Huge threat in PvP, so you gotta watch out for them. In PvE though, it's provides breathing room for groups, because who wants to get knocked down all the time? Not this guy. And their slayers hit extremely hard, and they move very fast in combat, so you got to watch out for that too, and especially in PvPs. They don't get knocked down a lot, so you got to watch out for that. And this class is at least I've seen a lot of slayers, so I would just say it's very popular for now, at least in my server per se. And I'm in the Celestial Hill server, so if anybody is nearby, want to hook up with me, you better be a girl though. No, I'm joking. But anybody in and around, you can't be cross-dressing either. No Elin guys. Alright, so if you're in the Celestial Hills, I'm there. Oldman.g. That's the priest I have, and you can help me out, or I can help you out, whatever the case may be. I recently just started like a couple of days ago, but whatever.
Wait. Greetings.
So we already talked about slayers, so let's jump back to my neck of the woods. Priests, primarily the healing class of it all. A priest, right? When you hear the priest, you hear of like, oh my god, he's a cleric. Oh my god, he's the healer. Oh my god, oh my god. I need a cleric. Everybody on my server always goes for a cleric. I always say cleric because I play a lot of Perfect World International, whatever the case may be. I play a lot, so jump into this game, old habits die hard. Let's just say that. So you might be hearing me say cleric from time to time, but you know what I mean when I say cleric. I mean priest. I mean healer. I mean, primary healing class. So, anyways, when priest, right? So, I use a staff. That's my weapon. That's my only weapon. That's your lock weapon for the day. A staff. I wear cloth squishy armor. I'm a traditional healer. I have, the standard healing styles. I make circles pop on the ground. You walk in the circle, you get healed. If I don't pop no circle on the floor, you won't get no heal. End of story. I have mana creation. I don't know why. I think sorcerers should have had the mana thing, and or mystics should have the mana thing. Somebody else should have the mana thing. But anyways, I have the ability to give my party members mana whenever they need it, or whenever I need to distribute it, so I can get some mana myself. It's a quick or mana charge. I think that's what it's called, mana charge. So I have that, and I have buffs, certain degree of buffs to help party members utilizing boosting offense, defense, health, all that stuff. Well, okay, so that's priests. We are good. I have not I have not tried PvP yet, so I don't know how good we are. But I've heard from other people around that priests are very good, especially with Kiara's shield. They take damage. They take less damage. They're like a tank role, if with that, and then they're very good. So priests can take on a tank role in either enemies, teams, or neutral forces. Focus on the priest. We can basically have like this survival skill to make. Anyway, we're survivors. We're survivors. So you can always look out for a priest if you need one. I'm a good healer too, so I'll heal you until you don't need heal anymore. You be like, I get solo it because I'm that good of a healer. And next we have mystics. Mystics are the supportive class of healing, and they use a specter and they use squishy armor. I believe mystics provide a utility of traditional healing by being capable of creating those healing MP mana orbs or whatever you see in the party. They'll drop it, you pick it up, and you get healed. That's I think that's their only way of healing. I believe they still have that focus heal too, but I never played as a mystic, so you guys can tell me that. Anyways, they can heal. They do that direct healing too. So I guess so. That means skill parties and proactive people can avoid damage by dodging, while actually having benefit from most mystics healing in the group. You can just pick up while you doing some damage, dodge, pick up, do some damage, dodge, pick up without. And it's like a rinse and repeat. Is Lancers. Lancers are the pinnacle of having a tank. Lancers is like a blocking tank. That's all they do. They have this huge ass shield with this lance, and they wear heavy armor. So once you wear heavy armors and you have a shield, you're pretty much a tank in any book. But for me, if you have a sword, no matter what it may be, if it's sharp and it's close range, you're my tank. So look out, people. I'm looking for all y'all tanks out there that have swords. I don't even care. I'll be doing it alone sometimes, but yeah. Lances. Lances are like the most defensive class, I believe, in the game, as they have their shields, so that's like completely guarding themselves and allies from like standing behind them and from incoming attacks. They possess like high levels of survival instincts, and Lancers have like I would say they would have lowest damage output in the game, because they're all focused on defense and low on attack. More defense, low on attack. But I've seen a lot of Lancers in a PvP area, not really a PvP person, but yeah, I've seen Lancers in PvE a lot. Lancers generally accept as a main tanking in the squad, so they can manipulate all the damage without taking any risks. Compared to dodging, timing. So if you're out there and you wanna be a tank and you don't want the shit to do, sorry for my language. If you want to be a tank and you really don't know how to play the game and you still want to be a tank, nevertheless, just be a Lancer. There you go. Lancers can block everything. You wear heavy armor, so you're not in the squishy boat of it all. You can fight up close and personal, and you might need a little bit of help but clearly you can solo things by yourself. Patience and everything will come through. So that's a Lancer. We have 2 more left. So the last one, well, the second and last one is a Berserker. Berserker, up close, personal. You have this big axe, this big axe, and it's like a melee damage class. They use a 2-handed axe with heavy armor, so you're pretty much a tank again. But the axe is very heavy and very slow, so they mostly stay in the front lines and block. I believe they have the chance to do like a burst of damage attack or a charge to unleash massive amounts of damage in a short time. But Berserkers are generally fast at dealing damage, though. They're similar to sorcerers in speed and damage dealt, but greater in mobility and defense. In PvP, though, Berserkers are considered threat as they are potential 1KOers. He's 1KOers, so you gotta watch out for Berserkers. They tend to kill you in 1 hit, 2 hits or so you gotta watch out for that. And that's about it for Berserker. At least that's about prior knowledge what I've seen so far. And last but not least, archers. I think these are my favorite classes to the priests. The archers are a range damage class, so they fall under the category of a sorcerer as well. But they wear light armor or leather armor while using a bow. They have the lowest HP I know, with no defense advantages to compensate, making them more challenging to solo with. These classes is known to possess a wide range of abilities to help control the fight by using traps and range attacks while reducing attack speed, snares, and stuns. Archers deal scales based on the distance of the target within 10 meters. Damage is unchanged now. So let's put this in a situation. It would do more greater for damage if the target was 5 feet away than 10 meters away. That's what I meant. Or we can use this one as another example. For every 3 meters past 10, damage is reduced by 15%. This exact scale is 11 to 14 meters. 15%, 15 to 18 meters. 15% of the basic arrow attack extends to the maximum range of 19 meters. This suffers to a 1.5% penalty from the damage dealt at 18 meters. Despite the scaling, the biggest benefit to an archer is that they have to choose to remain at a safe distance, as almost incoming area of effects, or AOE attacks have a effective range of 10 meters. Their 2 charge attacks usually have like a kickback, to compensate for the pushing of the arrow back 2 meters or 4 meters or 5 meters, whatever, depending on the charge. And meaning, if you well timed your attacks, you create like a opening or a evade maneuver from enemy attacks or AOEs. So it's good in PvPs. It's good in PvEs. I would say archers have like a high stun and a high damage, rather than they have high damage and high stun to compensate for their lack of HP. So yeah, I think that's it for classes. Where I'm gonna cover dungeons probably later on in another video or something like that, and bosses as well, and BAMs and all that stuff. So just look for that one.
Get to the point.
So exactly what you need to take in Tera's breathtaking and stunning graphics that fully immerse players in like various environments. Let's see. You need a minimum of all the items I placed in the description down below. So check out that, and it lists you from minimum to recommended. I would say if you have a integrated video card, it would work still. The game will still work for you, but you wouldn't get the stunning graphics and immerse, players in this, visual environment that I spoke of before. So, you still would get to play the game, but mostly at its lowest setting. I mean, dreadful low. But yeah, you still can play the game, enjoy the game at like certain settings high, certain settings low. Pick your preferences to boost up your experience gaming wise. So I'm just gonna finish playing the game to a certain point and then just stop it. You guys can stay and watch the rest of the run, or you can click the link and join number 2, or look for part 2 if you don't see the link. Alright. So I appreciate all of you guys watching this up to this point, and I appreciate you guys subscribing or viewing. Nevertheless, thank you all, and enjoy the rest of your night, day, morning, etc.
Got time to kill? I get distracted by mirrors. See why?
You have my attention.
For the Federation and for us.
If it was important, I'd already be involved.
For the Federation.
Okay, impress me. Relax. I've got it covered.
I'm here to help. You have my attention. See you later.
Okay, impress me.
Remember this fondly. It's an honor to help. For the Federation.
If you're lost, check your compass. Let's get it done.